You may think you know how Don't Starve's crockpots work, but what if I told you you are probably wrong? You see, I may not know how to keep my base clean, I may not know how to deal with lunging enemies, but if there's one thing I understand in this game, it's the glory of the crockpot. I mean, I even managed to make Don't Starve foods in real life, but that's not the focus of this video. Crockpots have some very strange interactions that all come down to one hidden stat, and in this video, we are going to talk about that. So first, let's start with the basics. Everybody knows and loves this recipe. Using 1 monster meat and 3 ice will yield meatballs 100% of the time without fail. And everybody should know that it doesn't matter how many crockpots you fill, meatballs will always be the end result. This is proven on the Don't Starve Crockpot Simulator website we have here. Upon plugging in the same exact recipe that we used in-game, it shows meatballs being the result. Although, it also shows wet goop as a possible result, which is kinda strange, right? Okay, well, as we all know, some recipes use similar ingredients. Take this recipe for example. 1 meat, 1 egg, 1 freshwater fish, and 1 potato. This dish can both make pierogies and meatballs. Okay, so it should be maybe a 50-50 chance, right? Well, let's test that. Oh, it seems like pierogies were the only thing created. Okay, strange. Maybe we just got incredibly lucky. I mean, everybody loves pierogies more anyway, right? Okay, so let's test this one more time using an absolutely bizarre recipe. Using a tallbird egg, royal jelly, a mandrake, and butterfly wings, we create a recipe that has 9 different outcomes. Yes, you heard me right, 9. Jelly beans, taffy, mandrake soup, tall scotch eggs, butter muffin, breakfast skillet, ratatouille, plain omelet, and finally, wet goop. So there's no way this recipe would give you only 1 like the previous dishes did, right? Let's head over to the kitchen to find out. Well, that's odd. It seems like jelly beans were the only thing to come out of that recipe, despite having 9 different potential outcomes. This is rather strange. Except, it isn't. You see, there's another very important stat when it comes to cooking in a crockpot. This is the dish's priority, or weight. You see, despite having 9 different possible recipes, jelly beans have the highest priority out of all of them, ensuring that every single time you cook this recipe, jelly beans will be the result. What about our pierogi dish from earlier? Well, yes, pierogies also have a higher priority than meatballs, resulting in the dish always being pierogies. Something sort of funny to note is that every ingredient combination in the game can result in wet goop. It's just that because wet goop's priority is -2, the third lowest in the game, you have to really mess up to create it. Oh yeah, if you were wondering what dishes have a lower priority, beefalo treats and steamed twigs do. For some reason they have a priority of -4 and -5 respectively. Well, case closed then, right? The priority system causes certain dishes to always be chosen over others, and you should never have to worry about a crockpot dish not being what you expect, right? Well, certain dishes do happen to have the same priority as each other. Take this recipe as an example. A butterfly wing, 2 asparagus, and a regular egg can create 4 different dishes. A butter muffin, breakfast skillet, ratatouille, and wet goop. Butter muffin and breakfast skillet, however, both have a priority of 1. What does this mean exactly? Let's find out by cooking the recipe multiple times. The result is an almost perfect 50-50 chance of both butter muffin or breakfast skillet. You may be thinking, is one recipe favored over the other? Well, I decided to keep testing this recipe and I actually found that butter muffin was oddly chosen more, but this wasn't out of the ordinary 50-50 pattern, so no, there is no bias towards certain recipes. That's not all though. We can get even wackier using a mandrake, a ripe stone fruit, an asparagus, and a cactus flower. We create a recipe with 5 potential outcomes: mandrake soup, flower salad, asparagus soup, ratatouille, and wet goop. However, this time there are 3 recipes with the same priority value. Mandrake soup, flower salad, and asparagus soup all have a priority value of 10. Alright, well let's do some testing and see if they truly do have a 3-way split when it comes to spawn chance. Or cooking chance, I guess that would be the proper way to say it. And it seems like they do. Something funny to note, however, is that flower salad and asparagus soup both have the same cooking time, which is 10 seconds, while mandrake soup has a cook time of 50 seconds. so you can pretty much guess which ones will be mandrake soup based on the character's inspect dialogue, or just waiting 10 seconds, and if it hasn't popped out yet, then you can assume it's mandrake soup. Okay then, now you may be wondering what recipe combination can result in the most potential outcomes. Well, after doing extensive testing, the max amount of potential recipes seem to be 3. This is mostly led by the mandrake, because you see, mandrake soup only has one requirement. There must be a mandrake. That is all. And it has a priority of 10, which seems to be a pretty common priority level. Funny enough, Monster Lasagna shares this priority level of 10. So if you put 1 mandrake and 2 or more monster meat in a crock pot, you will have a 50-50 chance of either getting Monster Lasagna or mandrake soup, which makes for a fun game of chance if you are starving and low health. Hopefully this video helped you understand a key hidden mechanic that Don't Starve's crockpots have. And if you already knew this, then, thanks for watching all the way through. If you enjoyed the video or learned something new today, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are not. This has been Polarlotus, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.